Hi guys, I'm going to do a little bit of an update here in the beginning of the video, so if that's not what you want to hear and you just want to skip to the video, go ahead. There's a timestamp, but I actually have quite an update, so I wanted to let you guys know to follow my TikTok. I know, right? But the reason is because I'm going to be posting some concept art for characters from my book. Yep, you heard that right. I wrote a book and it's not out yet and it won't be out for a while, but it's called Volimerance. Obviously, I mean, I had to write a book about Volimerance. And I've been writing it for years, and I've kept it really quiet because I didn't want to disappoint anyone that it wasn't coming out fast, and so I just kept it quiet. But it was actually supposed to be season 2 of Volimerance, and I started to really care about the characters and the story, and so I pivoted and wrote a different story for season 2, put that out, and continued writing for the book. So the book is actually called The Prophecy of the Noble Vorn and the Tormented Human, and I have a physical copy. It's on my desk. I have a physical copy in my hands, and that feels really nice. Just to hold it, to know that I wrote it, just, it hits different. But it is still in manuscript form, so it's not going to be out for a while. I have to get an editor and a publisher and decide whether I want to go with self-publishing. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know about it because I'm going to be posting concept art of the characters on my TikTok. And as you guys know, I'm an artist and I want to show you guys what the characters look like in my head, and I'm also trying to work on a cover art for the book, so I gotta practice drawing and painting the characters. So I thought I'd take you guys on that journey, and I'll have my TikTok linked below. I'm gonna try and be creative with it, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to say about the book. I'll probably be making some more updates or maybe some little videos talking to you guys about the book a little bit, because I'm really excited. So I feel really awkward telling you guys. I shouldn't, but it's been a long time that I've kept it to myself, and now you guys know. Anyway, let's get into what this video is actually about. Alright, a long time ago, it was like spring 2021, I was in a class for Greek mythology, and it was actually a pretty hard class. There was a lot of reading about, like Ovid and all the different classics, Hesiod, stuff like that. But for the final project, our professor gave us a fun project where we had to write a character god or goddess. Basically, we had to make up a fictional character who would fit into the Greek mythology, and we had to write who their parents were and, all this information about them as if they were a real god or goddess. And so I took a lot of creative liberties and fun little detours with it. I got really creative with it, and I thought I would share with you guys this paper that we had to write, as well as, if you go to my Instagram, I also have a painting of the character. Wow, I'm making a lot of plugs today. Don't normally talk about my TikTok or Instagram. Alright, here we go. Let's start. The goddess Diacracy. Diacracy, meaning discernment, is the daughter of Ares and Rhanaes, who is fictional and made up for this project. Ares is one of the 12 Olympians and the son of Zeus and Hera. Ares is the god of war. However, he also represents courage to live in peace and is described as the helper of Themis, the goddess of justice. Rhanaes is an Okeanis, a daughter of Okeanos and his wife Tethys. This Okeanis was an attendant of the goddess Artemis. Being the sire of an Olympian, Diakrisi is a young goddess who was allowed to stay with her mother on Earth. In her younger years, she was adopted into Artemis's retinue and took on the role of a Nephili, pouring water into streams as her mother once had. Ares and the goddess Rhanaes met when the god of war was resting by a pool of water. The gods began to take an active part in the wars of the mortals, and Ares was injured by Athena. He laid down by the pond and went to ladle water with his hand. However, he saw a goddess looking up at him just underneath the water. When she realized she was seen, the goddess revealed herself as Rhanaes. Ares asked why she was hiding, and she replied candidly, confessing she was afraid when she recognized him as the god of war. However, when she was near him, she felt no sense of danger. Ares laughed at her openness and was intrigued. He continued to visit the Okeanis while she performed her duties of pouring water into streams. During these times, the two became closer and soon lovers. The goddess became with child, and Ares believed their child would become a great deity. He boasted that their child would have the insight, grace, and healing of its mother, and the demand for justice from its father. Rhanaes bore their daughter in Ephesus and named her Diakrisi, which means discernment, discrimination, differentiation, judgment, and distinction. Diacracy explains the phenomenon of discernment and intuition, the unexplainable sense of being able to feel someone else's emotions, feelings, and character. Human intuition is embodied by this goddess, and part of this ability came from her mother, who was able to see the good in Ares. The other part came from her father, who is the mixing of protection, peace, and righteous anger. Ares was the god of savage war. However, he's also described as representing the courage to live in peace, justice, and king over true manliness. The inspiration for Diacracy is the importance of discernment and intuition, the keen ability to empathize and see the subtleties of emotion in others. It's a quality to be respected, honed, trusted, and not to be ignored. This ability is something like a superpower, a difficult phenomenon to explain, a collection of senses feeding us information about the people around us. The ability of discernment is something important to me because I strive to see the unspoken intention in others. This tool has helped protect me in dangerous situations or avoid them altogether. Diacrisy's characteristics balance humility and strong will. Her strengths lie in her ability to understand others. However, her weakness lays in her trust of others. She senses the ill will and suffocating feelings of gods and humans alike. This affliction leads her to stay away from many of the gods, and in poems dedicated to her, there are undertones of loneliness. Diacrisy's main attribute was the waterflower wreath around her head. Even in domestic scenes, such as serving Artemis, she was depicted as adorned with flowers. The goddess's other attributes included a potion bottle holstered around her waist, containing healing waters. Diacracy wore dresses made of flowers, and although she did not wear any valuable jewelry, her beautiful skin and silk-like hair was enough to tempt. Diacrisy's sacred animal is the rabbit, whose primal meanings are of intuition, spontaneity, wittiness, sexuality, abundance, fear, and prosperity. Diacrisy's relationship and connection with humankind is weak because they ignore her callings. The Greeks preferred Athena, goddess of wisdom, over Diacracy. Their connection with true understanding of self and others was muddied and overtaken by the gods and goddesses of desire, knowledge, and battle lust. Humans' need for power and pleasure reflected the gods they chose to worship. However, there was a small sect of worshippers who gave reverence to Diacracy. This group felt that the flame that connected them to the goddess of discernment was to always be lit and must never go out. This flame was kept lit, giving the best wood and incense as offerings to Diacracy. Her worshippers believed the flame linked humans to this goddess, who was said to be a crucial part in what made humans capable of the insight of higher beings. Diacrisy's nature is passive and pessimistic towards humans, the same as she is towards gods and goddesses, because she knows what they are feeling, their frivolous and flippant thoughts. She holds herself at a distance from them. However, she watches over them still. She would watch as her followers would perform seeing rituals. This was performed to honor and appease the goddess, showing that there were humans on Earth who still remembered her teachings. A circle of followers faced each other in pairs and meditated as they looked into each other's eyes. They chanted prayers to the goddess of discernment and intuition, asking for guidance. Their hope was that she would reveal innermost feelings from themselves and their paired partner. The sun god, Apollo, loved and desired Daphne, not from his own will, but because he was struck by an arrow from a vengeful Eros. Daphne was struck by Eros as well. However, the mischievous god of love gifted her with hatred for her new suitor. Apollo stood in the forest, out of breath from the chase. Daphne had just finished transforming into a laurel tree, and he reached out to touch the bark. He kissed his beloved, and his soul cried out in anguish because he would never have her. Sitting by a tree, Diacracy watched as Apollo almost wept from frustration and loss. She spoke, making her presence known to Phoebus. "Why are you in pain, Phoebus?" He turned, wilted in his regret. Familiar with the nymph, he returned. "Must I die from my unrequited love, cursed to never fulfill my feelings?" "You did not love her," Diacracy replied, sure in her assessment. "I know my own burning, my own damnation," Apollo spit back. "Can a curse be your own will? Can a spell from Eros, made in anger, be true?" Diacracy asked. "It cuts through me just as sure as a sword slices through flesh." He glared with tears and fury, continuing, "It is my love. What you call love is an imitation, a corruption. To a person who has never experienced the truth, it seems pure. For it is all you have ever known. Desire is a perverse copy, a mirror that reflects not what face it should. How would you know what it looks like if your face is the one in the mirror? No eyes from another to tell you of error." Discernment herself stated, her words cutting. "Are you my eyes?" Apollo mocked. Diacracy left, returning to Apollo's twin sister's retinue. And that is everything that I have from my writings on Diacracy. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that this relaxed you, and I hope that you have a good night, day, wherever you are.